Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm reviewing LEGO Avengers set number 76203 Iron Man Mech armor. This has 130 pieces, one new exclusive minifigure, and it retails for $10 in the US. This was released on April 1st after being delayed from its January 1st release due to a problem with the mech's hip build. Here is our new Iron Man minifigure. I really like this figure. As far as I know, it doesn't have a direct counterpart in any video game or any media, but it is very reminiscent of the Mark 42 suit from Iron Man 3. That's because it's mostly gold with red as the secondary color instead of it being the other way around. And I really like the torso and leg print here, but I do think it would look better if his arms were printed as well. I know that LEGO doesn't do a ton of arm printing for Marvel, but the legs are just really red compared to how gold the rest of the body is, so I think some gold printing would have looked good. He is using the newer style helmet. Great back printing there. You guys know I do not like this helmet at all. I think it looks really awkwardly flat and short, and I far prefer the opening version, so I wish LEGO would use it more. He does have some power blasts. You guys know how those work. You just shoot it, and it's supposed to fire better than that, but I don't think I did it with enough gusto. And then underneath, we just have the typical Tony Stark face with the heads-up display, which is fine, but again, that face print just works so much better with an opening helmet because then you can actually just flip the faceplate up and see that. The builds for all of these mechs are very similar, and I did just review the Wolverine one, so I'm not going to spend a whole ton of time on that. But the biggest change from previous years are that the way that the legs are attached has been changed. So it was originally supposed to be made through a different method that was going to be too weak. You guys can see that on the front of the box. Like I said, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. But I don't like the change because it makes the hip joints uneven. You can see that it's just a couple of those mixel ball joints piece stacked on top of each other. So it does kind of make the legs a little bit off kilter. That matters less if you have it in a walking pose like that. But if it's just standing straight, it is a little bit annoying because then the mech kind of wants to lean to one side a little bit. So all of the articulation is pretty much self-explanatory. I mean, you guys can see all of the different ball joints, but this mech does follow kind of the color scheme of the minifigure, although with a bit more red because it does have some red feet and also some red in the hip section. I do like that color scheme. Again, it differentiates it from the Iron Man mech in 2020. I love that printed pentagonal tile up there, although it does prevent the mech from opening properly. Inside, you've just got a little place to put the Iron Man minifigure. And I mean, even though this doesn't open all the way like the other mechs do, you can obviously still get him in there really easily. And I'm glad that he fits still holding his power blasts. The feet are probably my least favorite part of the model. I just don't like this build down here, with the lights showing. There's way too much gray with the addition of this piece in front. It just makes it stand out in a bad way. Because the mixel joint pieces are great, that's fine. I know people complain about that all the time, but I think LEGO color locks them to make sure that they're strong enough and that they hold up over time. So I understand that and I'm not bothered by it, but these little 1x1 bracket pieces being in gray, I think just adds too much gray to the model at certain points. There are stickers on the feet, which are kind of annoying, and there's another sticker on the hand, but I mean, they add good detail, and I felt like the Wolverine mech could use a little more detail, so I'm not really that unhappy overall. And then, of course, you do have the repulsors in the feet, which is always nice to see. The arms are the most interesting part. In this hand, you have a stud shooter, although I think it would work better if it was on top of the hand because it's kind of weird that Iron Man has to go palm up to shoot like this. Iron Man shoots with his palm out. He doesn't shoot like that. That's kind of a Spider-Man pose to me, but that is one of the newer stud shooters. That's how it works. And I think it's cool that it comes in gold because I haven't seen it in that color before. So he can't hold anything in this hand because of that weapon. I don't love the fingers here. I also talked about this in the Wolverine review, but I don't think these pieces work super well as fingers. They're a little bit too small to actually grip things. So this hand should be able to grip things, but these fingers are just so short that they can't actually get a handle on anything, which is why I like it better when LEGO uses these Exoforce arm pieces. But what I do like about this arm is that it comes with this awesome opalescent blue Nexonites piece, and that is a little shield for Iron Man. It reminds me of the one he created in Endgame using the Mark 85 armor, so I like that because you can angle it out a little bit so you can get some interesting different poses with it. He's also got some repulsor details on his shoulders, and the back is finished off pretty nicely with no visible anti-studs except right at the very bottom, which is always great to see. And lastly, because these mechs are so well articulated, it's very easy to get a good pose. So let's see if I can come up with something fun. There we go. I have no idea if he's falling down or not, but yeah, it's really easy to kind of just mess around with these, and that's what I like the best about them. Nothing super special in the extra pieces, just some shots for the stud shooter. We've got our typical mech box. I really love the art this year though, especially on this box because it's got blues and purples and yellows. So I think it just looks really dynamic and nice. Like I said, you can see the old construction method for the hips there, minifigure on top, and the back also has that extremely nice color scheme. The instruction manual is fairly basic. At the back, you do have an ad for the other 2022 mechs. Overall, I think that this is a pretty great set. I like this mech a lot better than the Iron Man mech from 2020. I like the minifigure better. I like the emphasis on the gold color scheme because that's just not something we see a lot outside of the Mark 42 suit. Honestly, the only thing I don't like about this set are those gray pieces and the fact that Iron Man has the newer style helmet. And I guess it would have been nice if he came with a few pieces for his feet as well to have him like blasting off. But these sets are such good value for $10, and they're all just consistently designed very well that it's kind of hard to find things to complain about. Although I guess my biggest complaint would be the new hip build. I just think that that's dumb. LEGO could have figured something out that was better than that. And I don't like that they can't swivel at the waist anymore because I did think that that was a really nice feature of them. So don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com, and I will see you guys with more reviews soon. Bye for now.